Hi, hope you're all doing fine. In this video, I would like to discuss about the importance of notes and in what way is that really going to benefit us during our preparation period. So as I mentioned in the previous video, there are several strategies to be implemented in order to face a different format of questions. One such strategy is maintaining a proper, well-written, resourceful notes. So how exactly should we maintain notes? Maintaining notes does really help us during our preparation. So the biggest advantage of maintaining notes is, number one, it saves time during our revision period or during our preparation period, and even most importantly, it gives us a lot of confidence. So it saves time, gives us confidence. So that's really the importance of notes. So how exactly do we maintain notes? That we're going to discuss in this video today. So previously, when I was discussing with my colleagues in regard to maintenance of notes, one of my juniors asked me this question. So the moment I start writing notes, I feel like every point in that chapter is important, and as a result of which I end up writing the entire chapter. So that's the common problem we all face. So as a result of which we get drained and we don't have the drive of writing that notes continuously, and in the process give up writing notes. So that's the problem we all face, right? So how exactly should one maintain notes? The first and foremost thing one needs to keep in mind is always maintain a single or two notes. The reason why I'm saying this is if you keep multiple notes for multiple subjects, you'll find it really difficult to search for your notes during your final preparation days. It will be a lot of confusion. It will be like a jumbling, and you might even lose out your notes in the process. So it's always advisable to keep or to have all subjects combined together in either single notes or, if possible, two notes. So make sure that for that you can take out for some 300 or 400 A4 sheets, get it binded, and start maintaining it as notes. In that notes, you can divide it into various subjects and then write down important points accordingly. So that's one strategy which we can implement while maintaining notes. And the second thing is, as I told you a little experience about the interaction with my friend who said that she ends up writing the entire notes. How to overcome that? Should we write down the entire chapter? Does it really help us? No, it doesn't help us in any way. The important thing to be kept in mind is that while we are preparing, in the course of our preparation, while preparing a particular chapter, we will easily get to know that there are certain areas in the topic which are being stressed upon repeatedly, and there are certain areas which are not really that important. It doesn't mean that you should leave out them. You should prepare for all the topics, whether they are important or unimportant, but make sure that you understand those topics which are really important. Once you understand what topics are important in a particular chapter, just note them down. So for example, in a topic called as tongue in anatomy, we have several important areas like the embryology of tongue, that is the development of tongue, the nerve innervation of tongue, and also the musculature of tongue. So these are the areas where they commonly ask us several questions. So accordingly, make our notes. So have an idea of the important areas which are being stressed upon in that particular topic, and make sure that you write down notes from those areas only. So as I mentioned, in tongue we have the chapter of tongue in anatomy. We have development, nerve innervation, and then musculature. So this is just an example to show you how to maintain notes. Okay, so while maintaining notes in the development aspect, and before that I would like to stress upon this, make sure that you don't write down everything in paragraphs, because writing down in paragraphs is not really attractive or catchy, and at the end you lose focus. Make sure that you write down in a point format. So point format will help you grasp important points, if any. And in tongue we have a development aspect. Just briefly make few points or write down few points on the developmental aspect of tongue, that is from which areas or from which pharyngeal arches it's being developed. So what are all the arches that are contributing to the development of tongue? Just few points. And then coming to the nerve supply, we have a table given in various guides, even in textbook, regarding the sensory supply to the anterior 2/3 of tongue, posterior 1/3 of tongue, etc., and also the musculature nerve supply. And also we have various classifications of muscles. We have extrinsic and intrinsic muscles and their innervation. So what I'm trying to say is, those areas we can either write down in the form of tables, or if possible, if you can make out flowcharts, that will be really very much helpful, or to the least you can at least write down in the point format. So that's how you should exactly write down notes from each topic. If your exam is just 1 month away from now, there is no point in preparing notes now. So it should be done when you have adequate time. When I mean to say adequate time, at least 8 to 12 months. So that's what I mean to say. So that's exactly how we can maintain a brief notes which includes several important topics. It's nothing but a high-yield synopsis. So it's a high-yield synopsis which helps you gather or pick up very important points from important areas while you're preparing for a particular topic. So apart from these things, we can even note down values. For example, what is the hardness value of a particular object? So what is the value of gold, hardness value of gold, and what is the refractive index of enamel? So we have certain values, right? All the setting times, mixing times, etc. of various dental cements. So all those values can also be noted down in a point format in your notes. You can even write down various scientists' names if they are necessary and important, and you can also note down various years if you consider that as important, and you can also write down various area specification values, value numbers. So all these numerical areas, scientist names, years, values, etc. can be noted down in your notes, and that's really going to help you during your final course of your preparation. Okay, so apart from these things, another most important aspect which I would like to stress is maintenance of stick notes. Take for example, you're studying a particular chapter in Phillips. So stick-on notes. We have something called as stick-on notes. So while you're preparing for a particular chapter in a standard textbook, so I'm not again talking about standard textbooks, not the guides. So in a standard textbook, if you're preparing, for example, this is dental cements chapter and the topic is cavity varnishes, liners, bases, etc. So while preparing this chapter, what I have done during my preparation period was prepare a stick-on note, add up all the important points in regard to these varnishes, liners and bases, and also I briefly mentioned or wrote down about the classification or thickness of these areas, I mean of these cements, liners, etc. So that's how we can add up stick-on notes to your particular chapters in your standard textbook, so that when you refer next time, it will be a lot more easier for you to grasp important points, adding up to your confidence. So that's how you can really use stick-on notes while preparing from your standard textbooks. So keep that in mind. Apart from your regular notes, stick-on notes on your standard textbooks pertaining to those particular chapters really help you enormously. Take my word. Okay, and apart from this, one of my friends recently on Facebook, he is Azhar Ali. He is AIIMS topper previously, and he asked me to stress on this particular point. The moment I discussed him about my online plans, he said that students often don't make the effort of finding answers by themselves by referring standard textbooks. So he asked me to carry out this message. So please make the effort. I also mentioned that in the previous video. Please make the effort personally to find out certain answers if you're not sure of those answers. Instead of blindly relying on guides, refer standard textbooks, find out answers by yourself by referring various standard references, and then note down those things in your notes. So whatever is given in your standard textbooks is more valid than what's given in your guides. So that's what I have even stressed upon in the previous video. And even more importantly, when you personally put in the effort of searching the answers by yourself in standard textbooks, that's going to register in your mind for a longer time. So when you find an answer easily in a guide, it's really difficult to retrieve that in your memory. But when you personally go, search and make a note of that in your notes, that's really going to register in your mind for a longer duration, which will really help you during a course of preparation period. So to summarize, notes really helps us to save time and to gain confidence. So we have to implement different strategies while maintaining notes, not just blindly writing down each and every point we come across, because at the end of the day, your notes becomes more bulky and less inaccessible. It looks less attractive. Okay, and make sure that you write down with your own handwriting, because that again helps you to register that point in your mind. So apart from that, try to maintain a single or two notes only for all your subjects, and try to focus on important areas. Again, doesn't mean to leave out unimportant ones, but focus on the important areas, and make sure that you make notes from those important areas accordingly. So during the course of preparation, you will get to know what are all the important things and what are all the points you need to stress upon. And apart from that, make sure that you write down volatile topics which we commonly tend to forget, right? It can be either the values, scientist names, years, area specification numbers, etc. So all this is based on my personal experience and also based on the inputs I get from my friends. And if you have any better idea, you can implement that for yourself, for your own benefit, and make sure that at the end of the day you maintain a notes, because notes really saves your time and helps you gain confidence. So thank you all for watching the video. Eagerly waiting for your feedback. All the very best.